This guy just called me a whale.
You're a complete fucking whale.
Dude, I maximized 1-2 income. That's absurd. That's absurd. Howdy guys, how are ya? We're gonna be Texas Thieves tonight.
We're gonna be loose. We're gonna be mixing
Texas
it up.
Dev. Yeah, we're gonna be looking for some limp 3-bets with dog water. So we'll get right into it. Oh, hit the ATM.
Let's pay some fees.
All right, spirits are high. We've just been on an insane downswing recently. So first hand with ace, 7 of clubs. This is around 15 minutes into the session. I'm in the low jack. The middle position player opens to 15 after a straddle, and I opt just to call here. Everyone else folds, so we're going to go heads up to ace 6-6 with 2 spades. He continues for 15, and there's nothing to do but put in the call, keep his bluffs in, and if we raise, we're only going to get called by better, so that's what I do. And the turn is the 2 of spades, bring in the front door flush. He's going to slow down on this card, as I would expect he would, unless he had a flush, or full house, I think a lot of times. He's going to slow down unless he has it here. So he checks, and I'm going to take the free card, check this one back, get to showdown, and the river is the 10 of spades, introducing the 4th spade, and we're sitting here with a pair of aces and 6s, and he now bets out for 20. I think this is often a bluff because spades, I would think, like, continue to barrel. Let's say he had king jack off with the king of spades or jack of spades. I think he might continue to barrel on the turn because it's tough for me to have anything good, but whatever. That's some nerdy stuff that I don't even know what I'm talking about. And I think he'll be bluffing just too often, as I said. So I think we could be chopping, or I call and lose to a spade sometimes. So I decided to turn my hand into a bluff and raise to 60. He snap calls. So I say he is the winner, and he shows pocket queens with the queen of spades. So I think that actually makes sense. But bad play here. God, we're 2 hands in, and there's literally nothing to say about this hand. I'm just going to show it to you guys. All in.
Oh, forget the last one.
Oh, don't worry, she's coming. 116.
What a DJ.
What am I doing putting $116 in the middle with 10-7 of clubs, you may ask? Well, this is a 4-bet by me. A cold 4-bet shove after a straddle and an open. And not only that, this is actually my most favorite hand in the game right now. Hottest hand in the game, as we've seen in previous vlogs. So I'm not even worried to get called. Let's see what happens. Oh fuck. I'm smoked. What do you have? You show me?
Makes your decision easier.
That's a double shot of that, right?
For me, it was $16 too much, but hey,
You had me beat. Alright, let's see it run out. You're so ahead.
What? Good boy.
No. Ace. Oh, ace doesn't even do it. Alright, no more complaining about losing money when I'm doing stupid stuff like this. I add on for 200 more, and let's try to bounce back with ace king off in the big blind. We get a raise from early position to 10, and the button decides to 3-bet to 30. And I have a bad image, obviously, after this last hand, so I cold 4-bet to 80, which is, I think, a little small out of position, but in 1-2 games, leaving myself like 120 left, if it's a $200 buy-in for a 5-bet, I think is fine. So the initial raiser folds, and the button asks how much I have, and before 5-bet ripping it in my face, I sigh, but put in the call. I ask him how many times he wants to run it, and let's see.
I'm all in.
All in.
Fuck. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4? No. Raise. 3-bet, 4-bet, 5-bet.
I call him a whale and he lived up to that.
You want to go one time? One time.
He's like, never
how many
call me
times?
a whale coming in.
You want to run twice?
Sure.
Showdown.
Let's just
Okay, why not? Can we go once? Once? Same man. Fuck you, bro. Do I have diamonds? Tell me I have diamonds. Ah. Nice hand. Even in that one, Henry's rooting against us, rooting for clubs for the opponent. Fucking idiot. Let's downgrade our hand just a little. We normally upgrade. Let's downgrade to ace queen off. And I open to 7. Henry the Nit calls to my left before the big blind squeezes to 25. I think raising or calling here is fine. This time I decide to call, and Henry calls as well, so we see a flop of 8-6-5 rainbow, and the big blind continues for 25. I think he's very, very capable of doing this just with high cards and a lot, maybe even too much, so I can get him to fold later on. I decide to float, put in the 25, just hoping to bluff him off later on, and Henry, his classic Henry, makes the fold. So the turn is the ace of clubs, giving us top pair, really good kicker, and now he decides to check, which is super strange. Maybe he has a pocket pair that hates this card, or maybe he's trapping with a hand like a set that he'll think I have an ace now. Anyway, I check it back. I think this is a pretty good check back myself, going for the trap, just pot controlling as well. And the river brings the king of diamonds. He bets out for 75, and I just snap him off because we're beating a lot except for slow played hands, which is kind of rare for 1-2. And he announces 2 pair, so shows us the ace 4, I believe he had. Unlucky here, but I'm kind of liking my check back on the turn now.
75. Call. Not 2 pairs.
That'll do.
Aces and 4s.
Wow. That went down pretty quick, that river. But let's look down at the punting hand. The classic Queen 9 of hearts, my punts. I open to 7 and get 2 callers, including Henry. So we go to a gorgeous, gorgeous flop. Thank God this came. Wish this came in the last video where I had this hand. Queen Jack 10 rainbow. We flop the second nuts on a board that no one is really ever going to have the nuts when there's no 3-bet pre-flop. That's not really valid to say. Sometimes you should be flatting ace queen from an early position raise, but not me, you know. So I'm just going to try to pile money in here. I bet 15, and we see the good news when both players put in the call. The turn is now the 5 of diamonds, introducing a flush draw. Still plenty to get value from, including 2 pairs, unlikely sets, but 2 pairs, top pairs, diamond draws. The small blind checks, and I continue for 65, sizing up a little to get a nice SPR, stack to pot ratio for a river jam. The nit folds, being Henry, and the small blind puts in the call. I'm just thinking he has 2 pair or a pretty good top pair at this point, but 2 pair seems a lot more likely. And the river, we're praying for a clean river, no board pairing. It's amazing. It's the 4 of spades. We hold the second nuts throughout the entire hand. He's going to check after a little bit of thought, like a little that I actually noticed he was thinking of leading, I'm guessing. And I take my time, and then I bet 135, leaving myself with a little less than an all-in. He goes into the tank now, and after about 2.5 minutes, he puts it in. We show, and we're obviously good. This is absolutely massive after just being a donkey all night and getting smoked, so. For this next one, I don't know if you guys can tell, but instantly, these are not my hands. This is our neighbor, sitting to my right, and he asked if he could film a hand for the vlog, so he's playing any 2, and as we can see, he has 5-6 off, and he just open limps under the gun. It limps around, so we're actually going to go for a family pot here, all 8 or 9 ways, I forget how many people are at the table. The flop comes 2-3-5 with 2 hearts, and this guy who's playing this hand, he has written the notes in my phone, so I'm going to be reading it from his perspective right now. Little side note, he is an ex-dealer, so he actually used to deal here at Playground. So he says he had a great feeling, and he thinks he had the best hand, so he bets $10 when it's checked to him, and I'm the one sitting on his left. I wake up with 10 deuce, the Doyle Brunson hand, and we have bottom pair, I have bottom pair. So, and I know he's uncapped, any 2 cards, so I'm going to play with him. And the turn brings the king of hearts, bringing in the flush. No worries for him, he just keeps firing. And I make the call, just planning on calling down. The small blind also calls, so pretty weird, but the river brings the king of clubs, and the small blind just openly says, I got counterfeited. Our neighbor heard that and takes advantage of the spot. He bets 15, so super small, and I call. The small blind just folds his 2 pair, or his counterfeited 2 pair. He shows me the 5-6. I show him the 10 deuce, and he's got me.
YouTube! There we go. That's how it's done.
In this hand, this is the last one of the night. There's a guy who goes all in for $97 pre-flop after a double straddle. He's like, I guess, middle position. It folds to me in the small blind, and I'm kind of praying I don't really pick up a hand. But I look down at King 10 suited. He's super action. I know he can be kind of wide, just not like nutted here. So Henry's in the big blind, and I know he's gonna fold. At the end of the day, I'm here to gamble. I put in the call. And he shows pocket 7s, so let's go to 2 boards. He asked if you want to run it twice, safe for sure. Let's see. Got it in great. Got it in stellar. Let's go once.
You guys did twice?
Yeah, 2 times.
Oh, wow. Spade.
Oh, yuck, dude. Sorry.
You're on it. Wow.
Okay, I know I said last one, but this one's just a funny hand. There's not going to be any thought process behind it. Just listen here to what's going on. Long story short, I flopped 2 pair, and Henry's being a meanie.
You're such a donkey. I know you don't have it.
I always have it, bro.
35.
What's the kicker? You don't even have a kicker.
You run good, man.
I run insane, man.
You run pretty good.
You suck. We did sort of good.
Yeah. Like, even before, I started talking to next to the small stack.
It's just dead on the streets. It's like 5 in the morning. We're home. Puck just left. Or Henry. Guys, we needed that win. Thank frickin' God that we could run well in the end. Started down, losing a bullet like usual, and then making a big comeback at the end. Sun running that. Feels really good to book a win. Huge for morale. We were on like a 2-month losing spree right there for sure. So that's really nice. Let's keep it up here from now on. I'll be posting a little more continuously. By the time this one comes out, school will be probably done. And I'm gonna be playing a few times a week maybe and filming. So hope to see a lot more of me and Henry and everybody soon. So thank you so much as always. Peace. I don't understand what you're trying to say there.
I checked.
Nobody even had.
Yeah. It was like a $40 fee or something. To even play folds against me, and I punt every time.
Are we